Hello everybody and welcome back. Thank you for joining me, I'm Christo. This is our wonderful Genoa campaign, episode 4. As mentioned in the previous episode, we are back in time. Our country is not yet completely killed by our exploring. So I think Johan and I have found the problem. The problem is that the life expectancy of all of the explorers, you can't see it because it's only viewable in debug mode, is being set to 38 when they are out at sea or when they're exploring somewhere that doesn't have any countries in it. Because with no countries and no development and no prosperity, you have a life expectancy of 40, 38, because I assume there's some kind of debuff while you're actively exploring. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to make sure that nobody over the age of 38 is doing any of our exploration, which is annoying. It means we're going to have to send out less good people, but it's not the worst thing in the world by any stretch. We're also going to aggressively seek to create new characters. I guess if the characters, no, we probably shouldn't. Well, he's 40. He's, no offense to any 42-year-olds watching. It's not true in real life. He's kind of past his prime because he's realistically not going to have, well, he might have kids actually. Yeah, let's bring him back. But yeah, we're just going to send out young people, not our crown people, because we don't want them to die. And it's going to slow down our exploration by a lot, because the younger people tend to have worse stats. But that's okay. No offense to any of the young people watching, I suppose. This is going to mean that we have far fewer deaths, which will be good. And it will essentially make exploration playable again, which is nice. I don't think I went over this, by the way. I thought this was a new country that got released here. Maybe it was, but then the Papal States immediately took it. But the Papal States now has this land, so we're not going to be able to take that. That is our claim, unfortunately. Right? Yes, that's the bit we actually had a claim on. So we'll need a Parliament CB or something to go against Aragon. Right, but we're back in time. I'm going to redo everything. If anything radically different to the way it played out last time pops up, I will let you know. But otherwise, we're just going to play as it was. I have no idea how we got this land, by the way, and it is annoying because when these noble rebels raise up in a minute, they're going to get this province. To get there, we'd have to go via Catalonia, but it seemed like when you just ignored it, you just won anyway. So I don't really know what's going on there, but yeah, I guess one of the countries we full annexed must have happened to own this for some reason, but I really completely missed that happening. Well, this is different. They actually want us to do the change that we already wanted to do. It will cost 12 stability, but yeah, sure, I'll do that. That was what I literally was about to spend the support to achieve. Nice. All right, as the game boots back up here in debug mode, let me tell you about how I'm cheating. So there is a problem. So in the last hour going over this and figuring out what the heck's going on. Debug mode. Oh, by the way, to open the console, type -debug_mode into startup options before you start the game. Or more likely, get the mod that'll probably come out on day one that lets you do it more elegantly than that. There's no one married in the whole freaking country. And the reason for that is because when your country hits a certain number of people, this isn't explained anywhere in the game, by the way. I only know this because I've pinged the game director about it. When your country reaches a certain number of adult men, which is defined by, let me get the formula for you. Number of male adults alive is greater than the cabinet size plus the number of generals, admirals, explorers, and artists you have, then basically people don't get married. So the fact that we have 61 people in our country is really bad because it means no one's getting married, which means that there are no kids, which means that there are no young people, which is why when we look at our characters list, and we sort by, you can't sort by age on here, but I can show you in here, which is why we have 3 people under the age of 37. And you will notice they are all members of the crown. The reason these people exist is because, of course, we have been doing some marriages. I did an audit of everyone in the country on this screen before I noticed that you could filter it by married and unmarried, which made life so much easier, but oh well. And one person was married. There was one married couple in the whole country that wasn't my king, or an explorer that got married via a specific event. So the AI just entirely stopped having marriages, and then I rage quit the game. And now it's like an hour later, and I'm back. So what you have to do is manually get people married. Problem is, can't show you because I've already done it, but when you get someone married to a lowborn, which was the only option, because we weren't able to marry people to... you can't do foreign marriages because when people are too old, they won't get married. The AI won't marry them, that is to say. It costs 5 Republican tradition. So we're at 0 Republican tradition. Oh, but wait. Republican, what's this? Probably legitimacy. What would it be? Spell legitimacy, right? That'll help. Right. Thank you, Johan. I now know. Oh, I turned off debug mode. There we go. Thank you, Johan, for telling me what the command is. It's government power. Oh, would you look at that? Our Republican tradition is back. So I feel no guilt, but I want to be upfront. We cheated. We got everyone in the country married, and then we cheated to make it like we didn't. I'll leave us at 0 stability. We basically had no stability anyway, so that doesn't really matter. But yeah, the demographic collapse of our country is a problem because only people who are under 38 can explore, and the current system means that your population just... It seems like it just skyrockets from being able to grow to not being able to grow for many decades. Then it can grow, then it can't grow for many decades. To recruit an explorer costs 6.9 thousand ducats. That's so dumb. I'm gonna screenshot that one too. So there's basically, we would just be in a position where it was impossible for us to explore because of the population cap system. So my advice to you, dear viewer, is as you go along, which is what we'll do from now, we won't repeatedly cheat this way, get people married in your country a lot, aggressively. You need people. It's boring, it's kind of tedious to have to marry everybody, but oh well, I've calmed down. On with the show. I think we're going to give the clergy some more privileges, because clergy loyalty affects your tech growth rate by quite a bit. I think up to 15% would make sense, maybe, unless it's between, could be up to 25%. But yeah, pretty impactful, although less and less impactful as time goes on, which makes sense as you get more and more embraced institutions. So I think I'm going to do religious administration. Also, their relative power is very low, only 7%. And if I increase their power, it will decrease the burghers, which will make it easier for us to get rid of their privileges. So I think, oh, this could be good as well. Lots of interesting stuff in here. We don't want to make it more spiritualist, though. But this, for 5% more resting happiness and some more clerics in towns and cities, which is fine by me. And I think we can probably also afford to go religious administration, progress towards communalism, which is what we're going for anyway, and some free stability. Not much, but some. Seems good to me. Annoys the other estates slightly, but that's okay. We're at 100 now? We are. So what is it giving us? It is 25%. Nice. Nice. And then, honestly, so what are they trending to now? 79. So we could still do them being happier. This seems good. I'm okay with belligerent. We are quite conciliatory at the moment. But I think I would rather be belligerent, honestly, so that we can get less antagonism in taking land. So sure, let's do some expansionist zealotry. And still the other estates are pretty darn loyal. So one more, even? It seems kind of crazy, but we could do... military orders doesn't give happiness. We're only interested in stuff that actually gives happiness. Could do strength and faith. Less tolerant of heretical beliefs. We're not very good at converting people, so that's kind of a problem. But even more communalism. Because communalism lets you revoke stuff. Revoke privileges more easily. Which seems good to me. So sure, strength and faith as well. Boom. We're going to be very communalist. That's up to 89%. Honestly, I'm tempted to give them another one. It's going to lower our crown power, lower our income, for sure. Oh, I forgot it hits your Republican tradition when you do this. No, that's not good. That's gonna really screw us over on income. Okay, we won't do any more for right now. But that seems good to me. Let's see, 44% crown power right now, lowered to 43. I mean, come on. Doesn't matter, right? Mostly it just took some off the burgers. It's fine. It's fine. And we get faster tech. Lovely. Should have done that ages ago. Oh yes, and this did actually happen in the other game as well. I just didn't show it. Castile is offering an alliance. I didn't even have to get it, work to get it off them. That's a really good alliance to have. That's going to hopefully deter coalitions. Although I don't know if strength does deter coalitions these days. It certainly didn't seem to in the England campaign, but that alliance with Castile is obviously what we were after for sure. And we're working on building a bunch of arms industries and things while also trying to save up some money ahead of our war with Siena to get some mercs. Oh, we died. And Venice immediately proposes a royal marriage between our... Is this our doge? No, it's their ruler and one of my random courtiers. Sure. Why not? There is also another war in Siena, which I'm keeping a close eye on. We have saved up a ton of money. But let's see what our new ruler is going to look like. I don't think I need... There's not really any reason for me to allow these marriages, because I might want our courtiers internally, I guess, now I think about it. So let's not do this for a second until we get married. Oh, here we go. There's the peace offer. Oh, and here's this. Okay, what happened? What happened to the peace offer, though? Yes, okay. Siena did indeed yoink an extra province, which is going to make it, hopefully, easier for us to attack them. Oh, that was a separate piece, actually. Okay, they separate pieced out. Who was it? This guy. Cool. Okay, so it's weird that it does this thing where it gives you a new doge, which makes these guys happier, but then also does this. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but 60 admin. Remind me which stat is most important to us right now. It's basically military ability, I think. Military and admin, because military allows us to do cabinet actions bonus, which is how we're integrating all our provinces. So not really looking at many great military stats, but here we go. Military and admin, you'll do. Cool. And the co-ruler, I really don't think the co-ruler matters. So we're just going to go with whomever, I guess. Right, yes, and we do like a cabinet minister. We are only interested in appointing members of the crown. You will do. Wait, you're the doge. Don't do that. It's going to immediately unappoint him. You'll do. Cool. What's this? Royal marriage for the ruler and... Yeah, this lady, she does seem quite good, doesn't she? Can I ennoble her? You have to not be a republic or theocracy. Okay. Shame. By the way, can we join a foreign order of chivalry? Ah, damn, we can't for another 10 years. When is that 10 years going to expire? It doesn't tell you. I guess I'm going to need to start taking a note of when I have someone join a foreign order of chivalry. It gives you 15 martial, which is pretty freaking good. So look forward to that. We're waiting for Siena to win their war, by the way, because when they do, they will stand down their levies. And when they stand down their levies, they will not be able to stand them up again in the same strength for quite some time, which is obviously very beneficial for us to then pounce on them. There is Siena's peace. So if we wait a few months, I'm confident their levies will stand down. What's this? Urbanization. Get some growing business or go towards traditional economy? Yes, well, obviously, we'll do that. We'll wait to the end of the month. We're just about to invent armories, by the way, which is going to be very exciting. That's when the professional armies get going, and I think being as wealthy as we are, professional armies are going to be really good. So here's the war. We don't full call anyone. We're using this. Right, yes, sorry. I need to insult them first, don't I? We did that last time as well. So that we don't have the stab hit on declaring war. Nice. And now we have the diplomat back. Not back, but new on the 3rd. We can get our war declared. We will be using some mercenaries. Saved up a ton of money to get that done. I'm just thinking, have I missed anything? Don't think so. Also, Castile will help us against Aragon, by the way. So it's important that we get our war in Aragon going soon. That's going to be our next parliament, I think. Yep, this looks good. Oh, they're saying no. How convenient. Boom. The defending side are these ones. It said one of them wouldn't join. It lied, apparently. Or, no, you were going to join, and you haven't joined. Okay, one of those must be a subject, I guess. Anyway, raise up the levies, and let's take a look at some mercs. We don't have any cannons of our own yet, so I would like some cannons, ideally. 22. Jesus Christ, look at the size of this guy's army with no troops. I would like a good general, ideally. But with some cannons. You are a terrible general. You look pretty good. I like this new merc system, by the way. I think it's kind of fun. But yeah, two cannons, and then just give me Just give me volume, I think. Although archers are not as good as footmen. And maybe they're not as good as... There we go. I think this will probably be sufficient. Oh, well, I can raise them over here, okay. Not them. Hang on, let me find someone. Here we go. Now, it's expensive, for sure. But I think by the power of these guys, we will be in a very strong position to take Siena out quite quickly. I do love how fast boats are. Going to be able to smash Siena right at the beginning here. Very nice. Looks like the Golden Horde is set to implode, by the way. Bulgaria from the west, Timurids from the east. It's looking bad for them and potentially bad for us, depending on how big the Timurids end up getting. Here we go. It is now that the whole game begins to shift. It's a slow shift, but we'll see how we can do it. We've unlocked the armory building, which is vital because the armory building generates monthly manpower, a lot of it. And so we will need to start building these, which will, of course, make our weaponry, firearms, paper, leather industries do well. And we will then use them to establish a proper professional army. Oops, sorry, we're on pause. A proper professional army, which is going to be glorious. And it's going to start out with just some cannons, obviously, but from there we will grow it and we'll be able to declare war, not even wait for levies, so just smash straight in. It's going to be glorious. Oh, I must have queued something else up that also had this. I didn't even notice. A 4th cabinet seat. Hell yes. And our Siege of Parma is done. I think we may try and vassalize both of them. It seems insanely cheap to vassalize people right now. Like this is still not an insubstantial coalition, but vassalizing both of these lot seems nice. Taking that directly is way worse, by the way. So this is 53 antagonism. If we clear this and take it all, 127. It's nuts. Nuts how much better it is. I'm going to do a royal marriage with Siena to secure the peace, which I think will make them a more loyal vassal. I'd like war reps. We're not going to tear down any of their forts. Maybe I take this province. No, I think that's fine. And then all their money. Beautiful. That looks like a great peace deal to me. Boom. Peace. And yes, we do have a bit of a coalition issue, but we can get it under control. And we can improve relations with Siena and stuff. And our new parliament is ongoing, ready to justify our war against Aragon, which we will be calling Castile into. They're thrilled about the idea of helping. Love that. Ooh, and Provence is not willing to help. That's good. Probably will only remain the case while Provence is at war. How long is that likely to be the case? Not that long. Looks like they're winning fairly well against Dauphine, although they do have some forts left to occupy. Now it's time to start spending our manpower. We do have some armies reinforcing. Let's stand down our levies. But yes, so our kind of maintenance, we've got about 30 to play with basically, and we still have some more barracks going up. The time now has come to decide how we build our army. And part of the problem is it doesn't tell you how much the maintenance is going to cost on this screen. It just tells you it's these goods that will affect it, but it doesn't tell you the base cost, because there is just a base cost of maintenance, and then the cost of these goods modifies that base cost of how much the maintenance is. So what I think I'm going to do is recruit one of each, and then we'll be able to look at their stats, look at the maintenance, and decide where we think it's useful to go. Now, one of the cool things is that the manpower maintenance is 1 per 50 people per month. So it's the same across all of them. So you don't have to worry about, like, this is less manpower efficient than this. So I feel like going for armored horsemen is going to be the way. The problem, though, very small unit size. We are, near the end of our research queue, inventing Genoese crossbowmen. And these guys have 200 people in a unit. But their stats, not that good. Not that good. It's very frustrating that all of the units seem to have the same blooming stats. Like, look at this. Footmen, they do 1 strength damage. Archers, 1 strength damage. And then horsemen and armored horsemen both do 4. Hornefist does 3, which is different. But all of the infantry in this age seem to do just 1 strength damage, which is really weird. The problem with footmen is that there's only 100 of them, right? And they take up 1 frontage, which means they're going to be lining up against 1,000 levies, which is problematic. So I'm not really sure how you can build a professional army that works, but we're going to try. We're going to try. So we have this. I didn't even unpause since I last recorded, but we have this parliament ready to go. We don't need to ask for law changes or anything. We could go to war straight away again, which is kind of unfortunate actually, because some of these peasant levies are going to have recently raised. No, they don't actually. Interesting. Maybe they have unpaused since I last recorded. I also had dinner. I think we just declare on Aragon immediately. Partly because I would love this land down here, and I bet that wouldn't give us much antagonism with people up in Italy. But also because, you know, anytime we can take a bunch of land off Aragon with Castile's help, we really should do that to establish a truce between Aragon and Castile, because we want Castile's truces against Aragon to be used for our benefit rather than Castile's benefit. And of course, right now is a good moment because it will also call in the Papal State. Now, the Papal State's interesting. Oh, what if we subjugate the Pope? Now, the problem is that Rome has already fallen to Naples, so that's less than ideal. But there are these other fairly big cities here, and we could subjugate them. It would cause a lot of aggressive expansion. I think that's what we do. I think we aim in this war to vassalize the Pope. Now, if we don't full call them, I feel like we're not going to have enough to do that. And if we full call them, Castile is like, what are you talking about? I'm not joining that war. This would call Venice in. Why are you now saying no? The reasons to accept are plus 89. They would join this. Okay. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, that's a weird effect. When you uncheck this, it rechecks this. Huh. But anyway, no, we're not going to full call them. So I doubt we're going to be able to actually get them in a PU. But I wonder if you take war reps from the Pope, whether it gives you, because they get like payments from all of Christendom, I think. So maybe we'll be able to get money that way, which would be interesting. But yeah, I think this is what we're doing. And then the papacy, how many divisions has he got? He can raise quite a few men. He's got quite a few professional men as well. So we won't necessarily declare this right away, but we probably should, honestly. Probably should try and get this going soon. It's not going to call in Provence right now, which is good. Not least because it will break Provence's alliance. I really wish there was a faster way to get to this screen. Because right now, their problematic alliance is with Aragon. And by them breaking this call to arms, I'm assuming that will dissolve that alliance. It's just 500 men you've got here. Interesting. So we're going to be able to take them out. But yeah, I think we probably get this war going, like, right away, honestly. Oh yeah, we also want to note another person on the cabinet. We don't have any members of the royal family to put on the cabinet. I think it'll probably need to be like this guy. We'll replace him. Do we have any other? No, there's literally no other members of the royal. I really should have got focused on the breeding program, if you'll excuse the verbiage, a bit earlier. But we'll put him in here. I'm going with the all-crown cabinet. Yeah, I think we declare the war right away because at any moment Provence could win their war against Dauphine, and then they'll be in the war against us. But we should position our navy first to take out the papal fleet, which does have 10 galleys and 9 barks, but that will not be enough to take mine out. What have I got these days? About 30 of each. Pretty nice. And we are going to keep building up our navy for sure. So I think this is the war. Right, sorry, yeah, I need the fabricate CB, and we make it on Cagliari, I think, because it's going to be easier for us to conquer, easy for us to hold. And by hold in this context, I mean, you know, be able to occupy and hold during the war. I don't know if it matters which province you make as the war goal. I don't know if it affects the antagonism. We should look into that. All right, so which of these, here or Cagliari? Looks like here has more people. So here, Cagliari, good stuff. And Cagliari actually has some members of our primary culture. Interesting. Boom. And yes, we lose the support, which I'm not going to get back. Well, we could. It's just plausible. I don't really want to break our alliance with Castile. The nobles just always want you to break alliances, it seems like. I mean, I think they have particular opinions, right? They have countries they like and dislike, but should I try and get this to pass? It would be nice. 0.25 development is a lot, and the progress of naval. I guess we will try. So basically it'll be if we can actually hit this button again. Oh, we can. Okay. Because yeah, I'm very happy to move more towards innovative. It's going to annoy the estates, but they're all happy anyway. Ah, damn. Can't do this. Can't give them trade monopolies. Could do this. Does lose us 5 progress towards innovative, which is not good. Obviously, we can't break our alliance with Trasteel. I think I am willing to do this. We'll be able to get the progress towards innovative back, and I would like this to pass, partly just so we don't lose the stability and so we don't move towards land. Rather move towards more towards naval, of course, which lets us get more trade range overseas, which is nice. By the way, there is a papal colony here. Maybe in the peace deal I can do something like block them from colonizing. We'll find out. But yeah, war with Aragon. Oh, Pope Man. Pope Man with your 15 transports you should not have taken to the sea, my friends. There goes your entire army. All 4,000 down to the bottom of the Turanian. I think blockades might be a little bit more effective than they should be. So right now, they will not accept a peace, right? Minus 58. Not even close to accepting a peace. But if I blockade them... Wait for it. Oh, a second ago it was plus 44. Oh, because the battle started. Right, okay. Well, after we win the battle. Okay, we win the battle. Now we go to separate peace. Still minus 44. For a second ago, it said... Okay, I'm confused. A second ago, their war enthusiasm was like... It suddenly flipped to... Oh, okay, there's another ongoing battle somewhere. Where? Here, okay, fine. Once this battle ends... Wait for it. I mean, that might actually give them the kind of spirit to carry on because they're going to win that battle, but I doubt it. Yeah. Ship losses minus 80%. Where is the... Why is the fact that I am currently blockading it relevant? The current enthusiasm minus... There we go. Current enthusiasm plus 50. So what is going on? I thought I had this under control, but apparently I don't. Maybe there were just battles going on and it was a coincidence, actually. But anyway, we're just going to separate peace the Pope because... I think that's going to be easiest. You can't vassalize them. I'm guessing you can't vassalize the Pope. But yeah, we'll take war reps and a bunch of money. And liberate Torres. Yeah, liberate Torres. Perfect. So we have a claim on Torres. Perfect. And then I don't really want them to dismantle their forts. Release this bit. Yeah, sure. Seems good. Nice. We were fighting back and forth with the Papal States. Meanwhile, Castile has been skirmishing with Portugal and Aragon, not really getting anywhere. But we have the war goal and loads of war score, so as soon as we want to peace out, we can peace out. What the hell? 2 things. First off, Provence has formed Burgundy. Secondly, Burgundy's in this war. They got called in late. Damn. Well, we're going to separate peace people soon anyway, so... Hey, Portugal, you can go as soon as you want to. Their capital's about to fall, which I imagine will make them want to go. That's a problem. Them joining. We don't have many forts near their border. They could loot this city. That's not ideal. We might have to try and murk up or something. Or peace out before I wanted to. Okay, so this Burgundy joining the war thing is actually a blessing in disguise because, like, practically the same day they join the war, no messing about, we can offer this peace treaty. No, we can't. Why can't we? I literally just tested it because the list doesn't show you what your actual aggressive expansion is going to be, so I loaded the save. Why can't we do this? I think we need to wait. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're on pause for like a day and it works. Like, look at the peace deal we can practically offer. They've just joined the war. We haven't got any sieges, and I can yoink a bunch of the Provençal coast. So I think we're going to stay in this war for just a tiny bit extra, and then that is the peace deal that we want. All right, there's the peace deal. We get all of Sardinia, and we get a city that they nicked over here. Beja. Like Beja is over here, isn't it? Whatever. This city. We get all of this, and we get a bunch of the Nice coastline. The Provençal coastline. Hell yeah. Please and thank you. Boom. Look at that. Looking good. Now, how much control are we going to be able to get over here? Quite a bit. Quite a bit. I mean, not till we core it, obviously, but... And that's a big city, 4,000 people living over here. And city level, which means, people promote faster and stuff. Now, the demography is probably going to be a bit of an issue. It being 92% Sunni. But there's some Catholics over here who are presumably... what have we got? Some Sardinians, some Sicilians, some Catalan. That's okay. We can potentially get that under control. We'll see. May have to handle some revolts there, but that's okay. If it looks like it's going to revolt, I will blow up the castle the day before they revolt, because there's nothing that can stop me. Good stuff. All right, back to peace. And I think we should probably be at peace for a while now while we kind of... We have a lot of unintegrated land, let's put it that way. I mean, like a lot. So we should probably work on that for a while. All right, universities unlocked. This is a good money sink. Not that we have a huge surplus of money right now, but they're expensive. They're very expensive. But they give us cultural influence, pop migrant promotion speed, migrant attraction, monthly literacy, max literacy for nobles and burghers. It's pretty darn good. Also, education of the elites. Let's take a look at what we want to be doing with that law. Can't do that right now because you have to have greater than one fully staffed university. Oh, cool. So we can educate the people, 5% for peasants, burghers, some more innovative, more humanist. Clergy and nobles are less happy though. Court. Efficiency of court, 5%. It's pretty good. Mixed. Possible number of artists up. It's got to be the people. 5% on peasants. How good is peasant literacy, by the way? What does that do, really? Like these peasants, for example. How literate are you, my man? Quite. Which gives local pop promotion speed way up and levy recruitment speed. Levy recruitment speed does not matter. But pop promotion speed is pretty important. That is often the limiting factor of growing our cities. So that's pretty important. Where's all our money going, by the way? Our trade income is a little bit down. It's mostly just Diplo spending. We could probably afford to cut that back a little bit. We are also spending a lot on the cost of our court. And yeah, buildings buildings are expensive. Oh yes, how much are these armories? Okay, an armory is 0.64 ducats right now. I need to start writing this down. Armory is right now about 0.64 ducats. What that means, 0.64. What that means is 1 manpower per month costs 0.064. 1 manpower per month is 50 men. So if we wanted to field an army of 1,000 men, that would be 1.2 ducats, 1.23 ducats, 1.28 ducats in manpower costs. That's not that bad, is it? That's really not that bad. Okay. Is this all? Yeah, 24 war reps off the Papal States. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's really not that bad. Manpower doesn't seem hugely expensive. That's good. Now we have some of these troops raised, by the way. We can take a look at army maintenance. So full maintenance. The actual maintenance of this army, yeah, it's not much, is it? Footmen. So 1 unit of footmen is costing 0.4, but the goods are cheap. So yeah, 0.4 is base, whereas 1 horseman is base 0.53. That's hardly more. So so it's half as many men, but with 4 times better stats. So that's much better. That's wildly better. Why is army maintenance plus 90, by the way? Is that just the percentage I have on the slider, I guess? Okay, that seems really good. Like, we should be going for horsemen. They aren't armored horsemen, though, are they, actually? So we will need to check out what armored horsemen are like when we can afford some. We'll get some of those out. But, yeah, if it only costs, like, 33% more in maintenance, that's with triple the stats. Because that's horsemen. They take an additional 20% damage but they do 4 damage rather than 1. So 4 times higher, but half as many. So call it twice as high for not nearly twice as high cost. And if we can lower the cost of things like horses on the market, then it'll be better and better. Cool. Big milestone. We just got enough relations with France to be able to put trade offices in their buildings. And it's just occurred to me, how the hell do I have naval range for this? I guess. Wow. Yeah, our naval range is just getting a lot better. And obviously we have it emanating from down here now. I don't know if I can like click on a province and see the naval range from there. Doesn't seem like it. This means we need to start improving. Oh my God. We need to start improving relations with England and Flanders. If we can start getting like trade out of England. Oh, baby. It's about to go thermonuclear. Hell yes. We're going to improve with England. We're going to improve with Brittany. We're going to get so much trade. By the way, the AI is very bad at defending its transports. Look at the names of these battles. Notice that they are all at sea. Basically, once every couple of months, they try and land on here, and then this navy obliterates them, and they just bring transports. Oh, but that's really good. We got an event that cost us 4,000 ducats, so we're 3,000 in the hole still. Being able to trade in France and get up to Britain is going to be really good for continuing our explosive growth. Hell yes. I was really feeling like our economy was slowing down. That's what we need to do. Focus on improving relations, getting more trade posts up around the world. Nice. Big milestone. Finally discovered Cape Verde. Took so long with all the explorers dying and stuff. But we are off to the races now, which is really good. We do need to work towards open seas exploration, but I'm not rushing it because we're still the only people really present. I mean, the Pope is trying, but not at an appreciable rate. So I think we are going to get all of the Canaries, which is very nice. This, I think, is the only Canary I have been to, by the way, since you ask. But yes, getting down here, getting that set up is great. I'm thinking also the difficulty is we're going to really struggle to get over 100 opinion with these people. So we are able to get overseas trading posts down here, but getting actual proper trade offices, it doesn't seem very plausible. They also don't have a great deal in the way of cities. It's more, more hutty around here. Maybe when we get to the Mali Empire, they might have more proper urbanization, but we will see. I think maybe my naval range was bugged, or was it extended? I think it might have been extended by our parliament debate. Interesting. So that's lucky that we got all that stuff queued up, because it is still building up here, I think. Yeah, it's still building up here, even though I don't think we actually, I know we don't have trade range up here anymore. We're going to need to go to war with Portugal, I think. And what happened to my alliance with Castile? My alliance with Castile seems to keep breaking. What happened? There's no pop-up when they break the alliance. Are you kidding me? That's annoying. I think we'll get rid of the coalition, then we'll get the alliance with Castile back, then we'll use them to fight Portugal for us, and then we'll take... Porto is actually held by Morocco. Castile finally won that war, by the way. Took a bunch of land, released some of it as a subject. But yeah, if we could take Porto or something, that'd be good. Porto is presumably a natural harbour. Yeah, that would be good. Finally time to remove another burgher privilege. Time is flying by as I'm just doing this period of peace and trying to solidify the realm a bit. So which of these do we want to get rid of? Probably not the trade capacity. Maximum RGO size in towns and cities and progress to individualism. Yes, that's exactly what I want to get rid of. Amazing. It's going to cost us 80 stability, which obviously hurts a lot, and it's going to massively piss off the burghers. But that's okay. It lets us go more towards communalism, and communalism makes it easier for us to take more and more privileges away from them. And at the end of the month, we should see their power drop 38% beforehand. It's not going to be huge. We also got a bad event for these, but yeah, 1%. Not massive. Not massive. We do also have... Wait a minute. Oh, no. Right. I elected someone of a different... Oh, no. Okay, that's bad. Okay, there's going to be a period of bad ground power. When this guy dies, we need to make sure we go Spinola in our next person because I spent all this time increasing the number of Spinola characters. So we definitely need to go back to that. Crap. So who are the actual? God, there's no one in this house. No wonder. Oh, that's not ideal. But yeah, we'll go back to Spinola in the next election, I guess. Nice. Finally out of debt. Finally making some money. Looking good. Stability is very expensive, but I think it's worth it. Our buildings costs are increasing quite a lot. A lot of it is the marketplaces, which are obviously generating us huge amounts of money, and the funcatos and trade stuff, but it's an appreciable portion of our expenses, and it's quite an inelastic one as well. But yeah, going pretty well. We've had, as you can see, a long period of peace. There's been no wars since I last recorded. Just been trying to burn down aggressive expansion, get into a good situation. I feel like a war against Catalonia is on the cards. It'd be our first kind of big chunk of territory if we manage to get all of it. We could easily take them, especially if Castile will help, which I suspect they will. Oh no, that's right, we're not allied to Castile. Yeah, I might have to try and mod this, but they don't ally people that are likely targets of coalitions, and indeed they break the alliance without a pop-up. So that is problematic. But we should be able to, once we can get this coalition all the way down, we'll re-ally Castile, but then by taking Catalonia, that will break the alliance with Castile. Maybe I can look into that. I wonder if I can mod like that. This is just bugged right now, in my opinion, because look at the coalition that could join against me right now. It's literally this country, and this country, and that's it. And that for that reason, Castile has enough reasons to not ally me that more than counteract plus 200 opinion. Bonkers. Let me go and see if I can just remove that modifier. All right, there we go. Fixed. And by fixed, I mean I commented out some code. So we can ally people again. This is getting fixed, I hope, in a patch soon. So don't worry about it too much. I hope that will be fixed. But if you are playing on the 1.0 version, it's very unlikely to be fixed by then. So if you're wondering why all your alliances are dying, that will be why. I don't know how you make mods right now. I've just changed the base code, but I will make a mod which will be available on the workshop. So if you are having this problem, by all means use my mod to fix it. So there's our alliance back with Castile. Good. Which will give them some institution spread probably, which could be interesting. How are they doing institutions-wise? Oh yeah, we can use this new thing. So what is it? Control I is the base institutions. Oh my god, a terrible hotkey. That's really nasty to try and reach. Anyway, so professional armies. Why is this not working? Oh yes, I've got to close this. So there's the professional armies spread. They've already got that. What about, you got to close this each time. What about banking? Yep, they've already got that. So it must be Renaissance that they're still getting. Yes, Renaissance. Rather, not quite spread. Renaissance? Renaissance. I'm not actually sure. Anyway, but yes, there's our alliance back with them. So now they'll join us against Catalonia, except they won't because they are allied to the enemy. No, they're not. What are you talking about? You're not allied to them. You're improving opinions with them. You're allied to Burgundy and me. What relation do you have to Catalonia? Maybe it's easier to see on here. They're improving opinions. Why does it say allied to enemy? Oh, because Burgundy's an enemy. Right. They'd help me against Aragon again. Maybe we take some land off Aragon first. I do feel like if we just yoinked all this land, that would be a good... I think I want to try and develop our overseas empire. But for now, we're just staying at peace. We're dealing with that. So obviously this is cheating, by the way. Changing that code so we can ally Castile. But the game's bugged, so I think it's okay, in my opinion. And once the patch is in that makes the calculation about how threatening coalitions are more sane, we will obviously undo that patch. Sorry, undo that mod and use the new patch. So we are going to start annexing Siena. We may also annex Parma as well, although is Parma going to be useful from a cultural perspective? Emilian, probably not. Realistically, we need Bologna to be able to get any progress towards accepting Emilian. There are 800,000 Emilians in the world. I want to get Florentine more accepted. But really, we should be... We need to vassalize Piedmont. So I can get Piedmontese more accepted within our country. Who are you allied to? Right, you're under Savoy, who is allied to Venice, Milan, and Florence. We're probably not going to... Oh, we don't have a diplomat available. Probably not going to be able to get Castile to come help us against Piedmont. Well, Savoy. I wonder if we could get an alliance with France. Yeah, actually. That would be nice. That would be very nice. Yeah, let's improve opinion with France a little bit. Get that going. Nice. Then France can help us against Savoy. Excellent. The reason I'm talking about like, which cultures, by the way, is because we can improve cultural opinion, and the higher the cultural opinion, the cheaper it is to accept people. This is cultural opinion here. So, yeah, we'd really like to get... Oh, yeah, and we have extra... We're right, we got tech that gave us more. So we should accept Piedmont more, I think. They are the highest portion in our country. Tuscan is likely to rise faster, though. Yeah, no, we should do Tuscan, because when we annex Siena, especially, we'll have a bunch more Tuscan people in our country. But yeah, Florence and Piedmont are our next targets, because consolidating, getting a vassal who is the leader of a culture, so Florence is the leader of Tuscan, Milan is Lombard, and then Piedmont is the capital of Piedmontese, unsurprisingly. Sorry, by capital I mean dominant nation, will make it cheaper for us to accept. Because you can see Ligurian here, for example. Well, Ligurian costs nothing. We've got any cultures we have a relation with? We don't, actually. Fine. We will work on that. And yeah, we also are going to grab this guy who has not managed to get any alliances since they got spat out. So we're building our spy network there. In fact, we're not, but we will once we get a diplomat. You can only put universities in core locations, which means we need to have the culture at least accepted. That's interesting. That's going to be a pretty significant limiting factor. We're also finding this with armories. You can only put armories in provinces... Where is it? Armories. You can only put armories in provinces where you have the... a core, and for a core you have to have properly accepted culture. Core, not just integrated. So we really need to work on our cultural opinion. Our naval range is huge again. Why was it low? We're not in a parliament. Why was it lower when I last looked? Where is our... Was it because the port was occupied or something? Anyway, what this means is we can build not overseas trading areas, trade offices in England, because we have improved relations with them enough now. So we're going to get on that for sure. It's going to be a lot of extra ducats. Hey, nice. An event for some prestige, which means we can accept Piedmontese. But we were going to do Tuscan, weren't we? Yeah. Because right now we tolerate Piedmontese. We don't tolerate Tuscan. So let's tolerate Tuscan. And now the question is, we could... This would cost an extra 0.6, which puts slightly over our accepted culture limit. But it would let us properly core all this Piedmont land, which includes 3 towns. Or do we want to do it with Tuscan? We definitely can't afford to do it with Tuscan. I think we do. Well, I don't know. I want to be able to put universities down, basically. But we're struggling. We're struggling. I think we need to maybe culture convert. The problem is it takes so long. Right now we're doing none. Yeah, the fact that it's integrated is tough. You basically only convert people that you've accepted. So at least early game, there's probably modifiers later, but we'll see. We'll see. Nice. By 1 point, we can afford this. And there we go. The alliance with France. Would they now help us against Savoy, I wonder? No, but they're close, and if we give them land, they would. Oh boy. Savoy, you're in trouble. We declare this war. We take land off Milan, and then maybe release it as a vassal. Once we can have the majority of the Lombard land in one of our vassals. Or we vassalize Brescia for that function. We potentially vassalize Florence. Oh, it's going to be glorious. We need a parliament for the CB though. So I'm going to start actually trying to culture convert some places as well. And we have accepted Piedmontese. So I think they will probably be the first target of our conversion. And then Tuscan, or whatever it's called. Is it Tuscan? Will be the target of our early acceptance and improving relations with the... Improving cultural relations between us and the... Is it? Sorry, I keep forgetting. It is Tuscan, yeah. Improving cultural relations there while converting here. I think that makes sense. And we're currently converting Nice, though, because I think it would be nice to have Nice be a another city on the coast with an accepted culture for us. And we can convert pretty freaking fast because this guy is, he's pretty good. What is he? 83 culture? Well, not culture, but you know what I mean. Pretty good. Pretty good. Meanwhile, could support the state. 50% crown power while it's being debated. Oh, you know what? Let's try this. This could go badly wrong, but 50% crown power while it's being debated. And then let's wait for the end of the month. Let's see if that weakens the burghers enough to take a trade efficiency up, production efficiency down. Actually, yeah, if we're going to do that, we need to stop taxing the burghers for a second. And in fact, if we do this, that increases their opinion more. Let's get the burghers' opinion up a bunch during this parliament, so when we take the privilege off them, it doesn't cause as much damage. But there we go. More power for the crown, up to 43%. And we're pretty communal these days. What are we at? 75% communal now. So to revoke one of these, only 53 stability. Not too bad. So I think I'll wait for their loyalty to rise. And then we will yoink one of these. And which one will we yoink? Well, should be this one, shouldn't it? Yeah, all it's giving us is plutocracy. We're still going to be trending. No, actually, this will make us trend towards aristocracy a bit. But that's honestly fine. Because yes, these modifiers are nice. This is irrelevant. I haven't found myself... The cap is not the number of burghers available. It's just the actual level of promotion. Where even do you see the cap? That must be the cap, right? There can be... No, this is how many currently live here. How do I see the limit? Don't know. Anyway, we'll work towards that. This gives us some more belligerent and army tradition. Nice. We are getting our claim down here soon, and I am also going to look to use this. Hey, we can go humanist as well. Yes, please. Some naval support. Yeah, totally fine with that. We are going to use this to get a CB on Piedmont, which will get us to war with Savoy. We're going to call in France. France, are you currently at war? Why have you got your armies raised? Or are these your professional armies? We've also been massively increasing the size of our professional army. Look at this thing. This is what we're going to use to smash our way towards fighting to unify Italy. I'm not activating this mission. This is our last mission, by the way. I'm not going to activate this one because it gives ability to the Doge. And I really want this Doge to die. He is pretty old. But I want him to die so we can switch to the other royal family. So that we can be back to being Spinola. And I think what we should do is try and cultivate 2 families so that we can occasionally bounce between them when the stats indicate it's a good idea. What are you? Visconti. Visconti. There you are. Yeah, so we're going to try and make sure that the Visconti people all get married. In fact, you should be, well, the men, because I think even if you marry a commoner, they don't end up part of the family. But yeah, like when this guy is of age, we will be getting him married and trying to make it so there are 2 large families so that we can play as either. I think actually, isn't the way our succession works? It should be shown for the families of Spinola and Doria. But yeah, I think this is just not working, possibly because we're a merchant republic. Because it really doesn't seem like we're just choosing between those 2 families, does it? So, like we're choosing, I mean, this guy is not in either of those families. So, not really sure how that's working. Anyway, revoking that privilege, massively disempowering the burghers, rather, which is really good. But first we'll let the satisfaction rise a bit. And yeah, getting the CB. Ideally passing this for that buff, but it's short term, so not really a big deal. Citizenry policy. Yep, definitely not doing that. So we are probably going to fail this. But that's okay. Ooh, although, no, this is good. It hurts the burghers' loyalty, but that's probably good. Losing some spiritual retreats, which buff up local clergy power. We can do that. Not going to go traditional economy. Not going to go traditionalist. Okay, no. So it is going to fail, but that's fine. I like using these to remove some of the noble buildings. Some of the estate buildings that grant local power, because it's all about crown power, baby. Right, privilege revoked. Corsica and Sardinia consolidated. Economy not great because of all this stability spending, and it's being increased massively by, well, not massively, but somewhat by our innovative boost. But yeah, the low stability is a little problematic. But as it rises, we'll be able to tax the patricians and the commoners more, which is good. And our trade income is flourishing. We're building fondacos across the world. Oh, yes. England. England, England, England. I'd love fondaco rights, please. Now we can build some relatively cheap ones in England, which will be good. Although, I think they're once again outside our trade range somehow. No, they're in the trade range. Okay, why can't I build these here then? Probably just need the monthly tick, I would guess. Or do they not like us enough because we're allied? Oh, this event's fired twice. This is why the missions are a bit overpowered. There's another 10 innovative spread. They don't like us enough, probably because we allied France. Yeah, defending our rival. Well, fair enough. But I'd rather be allied to France. It's a shame we didn't get the Fondaco rights and build stuff in England before we allied France, but continuing to build up our military. And we are now, I think, pretty much ready to fund the army, fund the forts. Let's go to war. France will come help without even needing land. Can I full call Florence? I probably shouldn't. Bringing in Austria seems good. And also, let me do another test. It seems like full calling does nothing. Full calling, rather.
Nice.
Yeah, I've just tested it. Whoops, sorry, I'm muting YouTube. Yes, I've just tested it. It doesn't seem to make any difference whether or not they are a full called participant in the war. So, not really sure what's going on there. Now that we have our professional army, by the way, I wonder if the enemy will know to not position their army right on the border. Let's find out. Right, this is a big war. We're calling in Savoy. It's going to call in Milan. It's going to call in Florence. This is, to me, not the final war for dominion over Italy, but it's it's one of the big ones, for sure. Let's get this going. Oh, due to Savoy being a co-belligerent, declaring war with good relations. Okay, short delay. Just going to need to say, hey, Savoy, screw you, buddy. There we go. No stab hit. Calling in France. Let's rock and roll. And the answer to my question, by the way, is no. The AI does not know to avoid having men right on the border. Excellent. So we will march in. We will raise the levies, of which there are 11,000 now. We're scaling. We're scaling nicely. Glorious. Glorious. France will help. What are we going to do in this war? I don't know. I don't think I can see ahead of time how bad it's going to be, but Florence being a vassal, plus taking this land, plus vassalizing this guy, who would then become the dominant Piedmont culture, so that we could improve relations, potentially. Because I've noticed the Piedmont culture is... Well, no, we should probably not. Well... No, we should vassalize Florence and then improve relations with the Florence culture. So we should maybe just take this land directly, clearing up this section of Italy and letting us turn our attention to the east. I think that's the plan. But we'll see how it's going to shake out in terms of antagonism. I love boat bombing. I love it so very, very much. Hello. Florence. Get wrecked, I suspect. It's relatively close, but 12 stability. That's not good. Yeah, not wrecked exactly, but certainly beaten. And now we hop back on the boats, and we go over to Genoa, and then we attack these guys, and we don't let them rally up, and we get some sieges. Meanwhile, the French smash through Savoy. Very nice. Now that's a more decisive battle. Nice. The war progresses excellently. I was briefly very concerned, because it was actually France that got occupation of Torino, but they handed it straight over to us. So that's good. Looking at the peace deal, by the way, so if we wanted to start out with something like this... Manageable, very manageable. Now, if once we add in potentially vassalizing Florence, we'll see how it goes. I also wonder if we could yoink all this land off Venice down here, diminishing their presence in the region. And if we found some some towns down here, we could probably get some trade going with the Ottomans, who are getting a bit bigger. Could be interesting. Trade with the Romans and Ottomans could be quite profitable. So I think we're probably going to look towards trying to achieve that in this war. It's a milestone. The first ever culturally converted province. Nice is now a core part of our patrimony, which means even when we're not here, we will be getting some progress. And it is now 50.4% Ligurian. Hell yes. And how about here? Also getting there. Very nice. Very nice. I will keep converting until this province is also majority. Then we'll move on and we shall spread our Ligurianism around the world, which is great. But that means now we can build a university here, which I am definitely going to do. Very nice. And we built universities up here once we accepted it, by the way. At least one of them, I think. Did I? Did I not? I thought I did. Oh yeah, I haven't been spending any money, so I'm too focused on the war. Give me universities. We will be knowledgeable. We will be glorious, Italy. We shall know all. Nice. I was trying to establish a colony precisely because of this nice natural harbour. And that is where it went first. Excellent. We're going to be just slowly exploring our way around Africa, setting up some stuff. Have I still not researched? Oh, it's not even the Age of Discovery yet, of course. So we need this and then this to be able to actually go to America. So for the next 15 years, we're just going to be exploring around Africa before going over here. I'm slightly worried that we're not going to have the population to colonize America, but we can definitely at least have a significant presence over there. This war continues. It's fairly easy, to be honest. With the help of France, I mean, come on. Oh, it's so doable. We can definitely vassalize Florence. Hell yes. It costs exactly 100 war score. Holy shit. It's going to get, there'll be some problems. But it's doable. It's very doable. So I don't think we're going to be able to take stuff from Milan and Florence in this war realistically. So we're going to piece them out early, get the truce timer ticking. I am going to dismantle their fort in Milan. Odds are good they rebuild it, but let's give it a go. Take money and give me war reps and break your alliance with Bologna. So hopefully we can come after Milan in not very long. Does it not tell you when the truce is going to be till? I don't think it does. But there's a separate piece with them. So hopefully, maybe in our next parliament, we get a claim on Milan. That should be good. By the way, I'm also basically learning how the size of your army is capped. We can build armories, remember, only in places where we have our primary culture or an accepted culture. That means, pretty limited spaces that we can actually build it. And then we can only build a certain number per province. It's kind of awkward. You hover here to see the number over the actual limit. I guess it has to be a province that you own. Okay, it doesn't work there. Interesting. All right, well, we'll click in here and then we hover here. You can see that the base is 1 and then population is adding 3. So maybe looks like 1 per 20,000 people. So there's a pretty hard cap on how many armories you can actually get and what size professional army it's going to be plausible for you to get. And it's not just what you can afford. So we need to aggressively start trying to convert population to our culture and accepting more cultures and stuff so that we can get a handle on that, which should be an interesting goal for us, basically, I think, to try and really make culture conversion meaningful. If you can only get them in a professional army if they're your culture, or accepted culture, of course. Okay, there's the vassalization of Florence, and yeah, it costs an extra 25%, sorry, 33% aggressive expansion because they're not a primary member of the war, which I can see if I hover somewhere. Seems to be bugged. Well, if you take a province, it costs 33% more. Maybe vassalization doesn't, but there we go. And that obviously puts us in a bit of a dangerous coalition situation, especially because we're not done. So it's going to be time to start spending on that Diplo. Probably should have done this earlier, actually. I would start spending on that Diplo, and maybe we cut back our stability spending a little just to stay in the green, and start improving relations. Because remember, improved relations burns down antagonism, which is very, very nice. But yeah, most importantly, we're going to need to improve relations with Florence. Actually, they love us. Why do you love us so much? I improved relations with them a ton earlier to get rid of antagonism, so I did. Good point. Good point, me. We are also, of course, going to improve cultural opinion, which will be very nice. So if we take a look at the difference this makes, right? What happens is, I don't think we've actually, I don't know if I've done this. I think I did it in the England campaign, but so we're looking at the Tuscan. Here they are, the Tuscans. So there are 670,000 Tuscans in the world, and right now it's costing us 0.57 to have them be tolerated, and it would rise to 1.7 if they were accepted. But if we were to say, hey, Florence, our cultures are good friends, we can see now that their attitude towards us, Tuscan towards Ligurian, remember these relationships are not bilateral, is going to, first off, make the pop satisfaction 5% higher, and all Tuscan countries like us better. But more importantly, look at that. Substantial discount on the amount there, which actually puts us under the cap now, which makes me think maybe we can accept tolerate Lombard. Yes, let's tolerate Lombard. Good, which will let us... well, it won't let us... No, tolerate doesn't let you core, does it? So maybe I should be focused actually on trying to get people all the way to accepted rather than worrying about tolerating people. But yeah, because Piedmont is accepted, I think this is where we should be culture converting probably, because we're doing Nice right now. But is this being damaged by the fact that they're not? No, okay. Oh, because Ligurian is the dominant culture, right? But if I was trying to culture convert, okay, and we're the dominant culture in both these provinces now, so we can actually stop doing that. I'm glad I checked. But if we were to assimilate here, and you can assimilate into whatever culture you want, by the way, which is cool. In fact, yeah, okay. I thought if I unchecked that, it might be like, can I just culture convert to like Russian? That would be odd, right? Anyway, to Ligurian, right here, you can see that. No, us being dominant. Ah, so when you are dominant, you get plus 50%. When you're not dominant, you can get 50% if your cultural influence is high enough versus their tradition. Whereas if I was culture converting here, what would happen then? It doesn't look like it being accepted actually has any modifier on this. Interesting. It's just if... But I think it being a core... So this... I mean, these are all cores now, but this conquered one is much slower to convert, sorry, to assimilate, right? But then what about somewhere that is half? Yeah, okay. So the fact that this is integrated slows it down. Okay, why wasn't that happening here? This is conquered. Did I just not notice? I think I just didn't notice. So yes, you want to be culture converting places that are integrated, ideally. I think. We're throwing up some more universities, by the way. The cultural influence of Ligurian is absolutely skyrocketing now that we have access to universities, which is pretty nice. We can see from locations is going up, and basically all of these is because we have universities. Yeah, so I think it makes sense to accept an area and then culture convert them. But obviously you want to be using your improved relations with people that you're not intending to imminently culture convert, because you can only do this once every 50 years. So, which is a good point, actually. Let me write down culture improve in 1474. Got to remember when I'm next able to do that. Hopefully they're adding an alert for that. I have asked them. Okay, this is a bit weird, but hear me out. What do you think about this peace deal where we just take Venice? Hey, you have this kind of trade rivalry, and then France comes in and you just take Venice and maybe some money. No, they won't give us money, right? They pay us war reps and we take a bunch of their land down here. I mean, who's to say no, right? These people is the answer. These people say no. But it's not that many people. It's mostly just banks. And I don't really care about the opinion of banks. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to take Venice, which gives me control of this trade node. Obviously, we still have much work to do in terms of building up our actual control over Venice and stuff. And we're gonna, proximity is not good, but it's only -1%. If we just get a bit more naval control in the Adriatic, then we might be able to communicate with Venice. And if we, conquer across here and build a road to Venice, and even without much control, we got 14 marketplaces right here. That's immediately going to start generating us some pretty nice trade income. There's no really easy way to see what nodes the trade income is coming from, which is annoying. But yeah, that's gonna make us some money. That's for sure. And yes, we yoinked all of their stuff down here. We will start looking at where we might want to found towns and cities and things down here, because they would be able to trade better. But until we can actually get communication efficiency, which means more navy and more naval presence in these regions, I don't think that's very viable. So now the question is, how bad is the coalition? The answer is not bad, right? It's northern Italy. It's just northern Italy. Now, how bad is it after we take this? I don't know. It's hard to see. But we're going to do it and see what comes. All right, that should do it. We've improved relations with a couple of people, lowered their antagonism. So I think this will now be doable. Excuse me. So let's build a peace deal here. Yoink, yoink, yoink. Some war reps would be nice. I think that's about it. Maybe humiliate them. Kind of might as well. Do we want to tear down? I think we probably do tear down their border fort with us. Seems good. And want to liberate anyone? Yeah, actually. Let's liberate this area so it's easier to take in the future. Then you don't have to take down the fort there. Seems good. Boom. Look at those neat borders. Very nice. So antagonism-wise, we are... Yeah, Milan could join, Padua, Venice, but not very many people. Up to 39, 42, but that's all fine. So those that can join, like Turin here, we will just be improving relations with, burn down the antagonism, chill everybody out, and probably our aggressive ambitions should turn their eyes towards maybe Aragon. I don't think I could call France in against Aragon because they just had a war, but yoinking a bunch of Aragonese land with Castile's help would be good. Do you have a truce? Just with the French vassals, right? Yeah, so I think a war against Aragon would be good. Look at this professional army. Glorious, non-levied. Love it. We're a bit short on manpower, but we're working on it. We are building more armories where we can, getting them up, and obviously culture converting more. We might want to stop... Yeah, the culture converting thing is interesting. Because I think we should culture convert the Piedmontese just so that we can try and reduce our culture capacity usage, basically. But the thing is, if I were culture converting, say, Lombards instead, that would be expanding the places that we could build armories. By converting the Piedmontese doesn't achieve that. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. Also, during this parliament, and this is a cool tip, I think. In fact, let me write this down to my quick tips. More tips. When in Parliament, to build university, push innovative. Because right now we're getting plus 0.5 progress towards innovative, and so I've got my cabinet on that as well. Now the downside is our stability is very expensive. And if I max this out, we're making, yeah, not very much money. But basically, it seems like for me at the moment, when you do both max Diplo and max stability, we make no money. If we cut either one, we make bank. And we probably don't need max Diplo spending right now, honestly. We've got things relatively under control, but I do want one more diplomat to start thinking about war with them. So do I want this to pass? It would be nice. We get university for kind of half off. We avoid losing some stability. Hey, and I'm very happy to do a minimum tax on the burghers for a while. Sure thing. So a CB on Aragon, on whatever their highest pop area is, which is actually down here. All right, never mind that, but somewhere where we're actually going to be able to make some money. Maybe just Valencia itself. If we do call in Castile, they will get the province, the occupations. So we may have to fight them without Castile now I think about it. But that's fine. And then, yeah, I'll do a tax exemption. No problem. Now, do we have any laws we want to change? I would like to get off religious education, I think. The thing is, though, this gives 0.1. Maybe we do this. More progress towards traditionalist. Because we are going to have... We're basically enough towards innovative. And this makes 10%... Ooh, 10% clergy satisfaction. And this gives less progress towards spiritualist. Because what's more important to us right now is getting more humanist. Because humanist increases pop assimilation speed. Which I think is going to be more important than conversion speed. So, yeah. I think we're going to go... Well, okay, the other downside is... No, they're both giving 5% literacy to peasants. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll do a devout education. We'll only do it once the parliament's just about to end, though, so we get the most bang for our buck out of this progress. The other thing we could be doing, of course, is this apprenticeships for the 15% trade advantage, but I think we're basically maxing out the trade advantage, like getting top trade advantage everywhere anyway, so not a big deal, really. Yeah, I think straight to war with Aragon, honestly. I think we do this. Oh, Portugal as well. That's a little scarier. They're not going to get access through Castile, though, probably, right? Because Portugal's rival to Castile. So as long as we can fight them at sea, we should be okay. Or with Aragon. But with Aragon, I've noticed how long this episode's gone. I should be in the next one. Thank you so very much for watching. I think it was a pretty good episode, going pretty well. Looking forward to this guy to finally die. He's freaking 68. But when he does die, we can hop back over to our favoured family, which will be good. Until next time, thanks so much for watching.